Ladies and gentlemen, here's a presentation of my invention which I hope will appeal to you. Login with ease is not the work of a computer scientist. I have no computer skills whatsoever. I had to be inventive, with a good dose of logic and a lot of hard thinking, age 24, over several months. While the most complex functions have been verified with an existing product, the overall feasibility study has not yet been carried out. Not just a standalone password manager. Here's the current context behind this invention. Browsing the internet is a potential danger, and passwords are the main means of protection. However, the conditions governing the effectiveness of this password are so draconian that many internet users still prefer to ignore them, fatally accepting the risk of being hacked. The criteria guaranteeing a certain level of security are quite eloquent. Passwords must consist of a minimum number of characters. They must contain at least one capital letter and one special character. They must not contain any part of our identity, nor correspond in whole or in part to an old password. Last but not least, each site visited must have its own password, which must be changed regularly. Today, while online managers such as Dashlane offer their customers a password safe, they also require their customers to authenticate themselves on their site. These users therefore only have to manage the password for their manager's site, a master password which is not immune to the risk of hacking. Consequently, users remain subject to password security rules. What's more, the service provided by these managers does not exempt users from changing their passwords within each site they visit. Indeed, taking Twitter as an example, if the user wants to change his password there, he will have to retrieve the old and new passwords from Dashlane, and go to Twitter to update it so that the new password is recognized for future connections. The most worrying thing about password managers is that they lightly assume the colossal responsibility of protecting the passwords of internet users who provide access to personal information. The seriousness of this responsibility seems to be overlooked. Indeed, a manager who is hacked should be able to be sued by all the users who have placed their trust in him or her. Delegated management should not be allowed. The same applies to word safes. The question then becomes, how to enable the user to no longer delegate password management while ensuring high security and ease of use. The purpose of this invention is to respond to this concern. It concerns a device designed to free the user from any dependency by offering an autonomous password manager. It's an original creation that guarantees unprecedented security and unprecedented ease of use. Login with ease, consisting of a shuttle and a station, eliminates the need to create, modify, or store any passwords. All the user has to do is enter a minimum 8-digit access code, which need not be changed regularly. This code would be useless to anyone who didn't have the user's shuttle and login, much to the chagrin of millions of web hackers. For this user, the risk of hacking is virtually nil. In fact, the only person who could harm the user is someone who has the owner's shuttle and knows his or her login and connection code. To avoid this single risk, the shuttle could be equipped with a biometric activation system. We would then be approaching zero-risk security. Finally, an AirTag system would prevent the shuttle from being forgotten or lost. Alternatively, it could be glued to the back of a smartphone. The shuttle, which is totally independent physically, operates via Bluetooth, so that it cannot be accessed by web pirates. Here's a demonstration of login with ease. Once the computer is switched on, the user presses the blue button, on/off, on the shuttle. Connected via Bluetooth, the code test pattern appears on the computer. The user enters his code, then validates. The application launches. He enters his login. He positions himself in the password cell. Press the red shuttle button to paste a password specific to the Login with Ease application. He validates. The dashboard of sites visited by the user, configurable sites, appears. Clicking on Facebook opens a new tab. The user clicks on the tab to access it. Enter your login. And positions himself in the password cell. He presses the red shuttle button to paste in a password specific to Facebook, different from the Login with Ease password. The bubble shows what the password might look like. Then he clicks on Login. This gives him access to his Facebook account. In the evening, before going to sleep, he places his shuttle on the station. The two communicate for a data update. The next day, the user who wishes to return to Facebook. Once the computer is switched on, the user presses the blue button, on/off, on the shuttle. The code test pattern appears. User enters code. Validates. The application launches. User enters login. He positions himself in the password cell. Press the red button on the shuttle to paste a password specific to the Login with Ease application with a different password from the previous day. He validates. And despite the fact that the password has not actually been changed on the Login with Ease site itself, the connection is still made. It arrives on the dashboard of the user's sites. By clicking on Facebook, the new tab is added. The user clicks on the tab to access it. Enter your login. Move to the password cell. Press the red shuttle button to paste the password specific to this site. And here again, it's a new password specific to Facebook. It is therefore different from the one used the day before, but also from the login with ease password, as can be seen in the bubble. And although the user will not have made any password changes on this site, Facebook will still authorize the connection. The user thus accesses his Facebook account. And it's the same for every site with its own passwords. Here are a few more details on this invention. Passwords are created only when the shuttle is in use, and disappear when it is switched off a few seconds after inactivity. The loss of the shuttle or station is not a major risk, since no passwords are stored on them. In this case, the user will either buy a shuttle and reconnect it to the station to update it, or vice versa if the station is lost. Just don't lose both at the same time. Otherwise, you'll have to change your password at each site, using the Forgot Password function with new shuttles and stations. Of course, sites such as Facebook, TikTok, Gmail etc. will need to be supplied with a program to enable all their users to benefit from login with ease while enjoying optimum protection. Everything will be totally transparent for everyone. No one will notice anything because nothing on the site will have changed visually. Anyone who doesn't have login with ease won't be affected at all. It's a set of simple ideas which we had to think of that increase the potential of this product tenfold, making it infinitely more powerful than anything else on the market. All password management markets, such as Dashlane, as well as security keys such as YubiKey, necessary for double authentication, will be absorbed by this invention. This product will take a worldwide monopoly.